Okay, so where do we stand with this? I mean, you know, many art historians, here I start my bashing art historians, many art historians feel that you know, well, it's a real progression. You go from the early Mondrian, and you go to the later Mondrian, to the very last Mondrian, and then you're like, you know, you're up there in heaven, and really all the landscapes and everything's contained in the last Mondrian, okay? It's all there, it's all part of it. He's found a way of going beyond the actual appearance of the landscape. He's giving you the landscape, but he's giving you it in a pure sense. Well, I find that utter bullshit. I mean, I love that Trafalgar Square, but it's not a landscape. And its means are no more efficient than that Rembrandt. There's a problem here. Let's go on to the next two. Beautiful one here. I mean, absolutely alive. It crackles, it snaps, it pops. It's just beautiful, beautiful thing, isn't it? Then he's already, though, in this, he's working toward a kind of a neutrality. And then when he makes a step further, and I'm not going to take you ad nauseum through all the phases, he works a step further, and you know, these serried ranks of verticals and horizontals, these parallel verticals and horizontals, radiating half curves this way, half curves the other way. He's already reaching out to make neutral something which was specific here in this tree. And it's a process, again, which seems to delight the historian of modern art. Oh, big advance. I have to make one point now. You must realize, one artist's liberation can be another artist's prison. Certainly for Mondrian, I prefer the later Mondrian. I like Mondrian all the way through, but I really do prefer the later Mondrians, such as the Trafalgar Square, one of my favorites. I think they're marvelous. And there's no doubt that by trying to eschew, to throw aside as dross the appearance of things, it liberated something in the sensibility of Mondrian. But it's equally no doubt, next two please, it's equally no doubt that in a man like Giacometti, grasping, trying for the appearance of things was a liberation for him. So it's a very strange thing. Now, this Giacometti is much closer to this marvelous late drawing of Mondrian's than it is to that tree that was up here. And as you look at the tree, can you, with the time that's on this machine, can we put the tree back just a second? Thank you. You can see right away that this is like it has an emphasis like in the Rembrandt. For Giacometti, he wants to get his mother's, the facade of his mother's house in Stampa, the little chimney sticking there, the tree in front, the way the shed comes here, the way he pulls it in here. He's not just making art, making a painting. He's not saying, I can make a splendid thing, I can dissolve the tree. He wants to get into a resemblance of what happens there. And Mondrian is already, even in this, beginning to work away from anything like that. Now, a liberation for him, but still this, in its complexity and profundity, I think is an organization that goes further than this. And the next, let's get back to this, and is much closer to this kind of thing, this beautiful late drawing. Now, the next page. Now, I've shown Mondrians that I love, but I want to show Mondrian I don't love. Mondrian, years before the World War, just maybe at the very beginning, he did two nice charcoal drawings. They're pretty famous. They're shown all over the place in reproductions in books. There's two nice self-portraits. I don't think they're the greatest, but they're nice. But I think this thing from a sketch pad is a bit flaccid and a bit as though it's 42, for Christ's sakes. He's already doing these marvelous abstractions, and he no longer has the moxie, the drive to really try to get into what happens with his face. See, you put this, of course, it's a dirty thing to do, You put this alongside of this thing of point A, reaching point A by Giacometti. Well, there's no contest because, Giacometti, it's life and death. I mean, he's really, that head is incredible. Incredible. It's one of the greatest Giacometti portraits I know. I mean, nose, eyes, the ears going there. The whole goddamn thing. This is good. It really makes the Mondrian, well, again, I love Mondrian, but I'm trying to say he's lost that particular edge, that particular drive. Now, we're not talking about realism in the sense of the ghastly stuff that's written about by art historians. I thank Linda Nachman for doing a superb show of Courbet, but when she gets into the 20th century and her realism, I wish she would shut up, because she has no idea what the hell goes up or down. The next two. I want to get on to something else. I want to get on to something. I'm going to attack an art historian who, an art historian who teaches in Columbia. I think his specialty is Venetian 18th century painting. And I was in some sort of two-day symposium, and I spoke before him. And it's the first time in a long time I've spoken without slides. And in the middle of my lecture, I took off against Barney Newman. I'm not a Barney Newman fan. I think Barney Newman, and he's monocle and slicing the philosophical baloney, and he's, as de Kooning would say, Barney Newman, elevator door. I mean, really, I think the biggest farce that's, been pushed in the entire world. But, and also his wife did a lousy thing to this school, I'll tell you that. She got rid of that French program, and she probably broke her heart at George Stevens. So, not only do I not like Barney Newman's paintings, but I don't like his widow. Nevertheless, I was in Washington Thursday and Friday. There's an incredible Cézanne show. I mean, that early Cézanne show is absolutely out of this world. It's so energizing, so, I mean, if you don't fall in love with that, you're not a painter. It's just overwhelming, that show. And unfortunately, I wandered down after the Cézanne show into the East Wing, into the circus they have downstairs. They have this piece of crap by Siegel, which is nothing to do with sculpture. I mean, horrible thing. Anyway, I walk past that, I go downstairs, and all the boys and girls are there. And then you enter a chamber. Barney Newman. Faces of the cross. And you know what? The doorway, vertical and horizontal, blew out the whole goddamn show. They're like pocket hangers. The Mondrian holds up to a doorway. Years ago, when Time magazine put Chronic on a cover, they put Chronic on the cover, Lucian Chronic, the ancient, Lucian Chronic the elder. They put him on the cover with a portrait of Luther. And it's the only time I know, with the Time magazine masthead with that incredible, vertical of the eye and right angle of the T, couldn't blow away the painting. I won't mention the painters that they've had on the cover, but the painters are always destroyed by that time head. But with this Chronic held up. Barney Newman doesn't hold up. Okay. Now, the thing about the Barney Newman stuff is that it takes an incredible arrogance and an incredible foolishness on the part of the people who applaud him. No, I forgot all about the Venetian 18th century guy. What he did during the symposium, he loved Carpaccio, great painter, and he would take these slides of Carpaccio. The Carpaccio would you've seen that chapel in Venice. He had these long sort of marine format paintings with 3 vertical visions, okay? And maybe he would have a whole a fleet of ships and people on the quayside. Everybody didn't think of that painting, and it was a pretty fantastic painting. He'd take that painting, and then he put this crap like Barney Newman, a long horizontal and 3 vertical divisions. And he'd talk about the rapport between the Barney Newman. Oh man, what a crack that was! How foolish! He still does this. Now, the other thing is about these Stations of the Cross. You get